Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to 8-Bit Generation X. I'm Eric, and today I'm coming at you with some amazing news. This weekend, I'm heading to New Jersey. Do a little site, on-site filming, I guess, if you will. I'm off to 90s Con from Morristown, New Jersey. Nice fan interaction convention with stars of yesteryear, mostly people that were in the height in the 90s, since it's 90s Con, but we're going to have Eric Bischoff, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown, Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man. I'm going to get meet and greets, little chat, photos. Who else is going to be there? The Sandman, an ECW original, Al Snow, and many more. I went to this event a few years back for 80s Con, and it was amazing. If you look behind me, you see a lot of pictures that I got done there and autographs. I had the pleasure of meeting Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Let me put on his Hall of Fame ring and actually took a picture with the IC strap. I was very fortunate to talk with some people that aren't with us anymore. I spoke with the Soul Man Rocky Johnson, the Rock's dad. I had a nice conversation with him. He knew the city I'm from. His granddaughter was just born, the Rock's daughter, in Linfield, which is just a little town over. So we chatted. He was all excited about that. I also got to talk with the genius. His picture is right behind me right there, Lenny Poffo. Had a little shot to shit with him about stories with his brother, the Macho Man. And he, again, let me put on the Macho Man's Hall of Fame ring, take a picture. Who else? Bushwhacker Luke was hilarious. He was all fun and games. The Powers of Pain were there. They were nice. Who was really funny? Oh, the Birdman, Coco Beware. He talked to me for a good amount of time because I caught him at the end of the convention, and we were watching we weren't watching together, but we were standing next to each other watching something up on stage, and he was making jokes, and I ended up shooting the shit with him for a little while. Wendy Richter, I had a very, very quick meet and greet with her. She was on her way out, and I think I got the last picture. Jake the Snake Roberts was there. So this 80s Con was amazing. The Nasty Boys, they were hilarious. I was hoping to get drinks with them afterwards because I just assumed that they would hit the bar that was in the convention center right afterwards, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But Saturday, I'm going to Morristown, New Jersey for 90s Con, and hopefully I'm going to have the same kind of experience. I'm going to be filming from the convention center and uploading some videos. I already got permission from the guy running it, Tommy Fierro. He's been a little wrestling connection of mine since 80s Con. We've exchanged merchandise and things like that. He even agreed to shoot the shit with me afterwards and maybe make a little cameo on 8-Bit Generation X. So I'm going to appreciate that if it happens. So yeah, excited weekend. My son Camden, he's coming along, and he's going to be my cameraman. He's going to be my partner in crime, and he's excited. I don't know if he's able to picture exactly where we're going because there is going to be a wrestling show. He does put on an indie show, so there'll be some action, but there'll be a lot of waiting in lines and getting our autographs signed and pictures taken with people who may not look like they do in his mind, because he's obviously these guys have all aged. I mean, we've all aged, myself as well. But anyway, I'm very looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be awesome. If you're in this area, or if you have nothing to do this weekend, New Jersey, it's a 4-hour ride, depending on traffic. And it's not that expensive. And there's also other things that are going to be happening that I hope to take advantage of. I already bought a ticket. I'm going to step inside a 15-foot steel cage and get my picture taken. And I'm hoping it's the old school blue cage, knock on wood. Not sure about that. There's also going to be wrestling song karaoke. I might have to bust out some old school Pile Driver by the Birdman, Coco Beware. What else? There's going to be Q&A with a bunch of superstars. me and Camden have access to the VIP, so we're going to be able to mingle with all the guests that are showing up there. So hopefully I'll come back with a couple good stories. One thing I'm looking forward to is getting my hands on some merch. I'm a pretty avid collector of old school wrestling merchandise. As you can see behind me, I've collected the LJN wrestling figures. Originally, when I was a kid, I had most of them, but of course, being a kid in the 80s, we never thought anything of our action figures. We had 1,000 different kinds of awesome figures. Who knew that 2025 they're all going to be worth so much? But my original figures ended up in trees, blown up with quarter sticks of dynamite and M80s, lit on fire with hairspray. The things I did with them, I guess that was the first Inferno match, actually. And I hope I'm not giving any of you kids ideas, so don't do any of that. Kids in the 80s could do that. You can't do that stuff now. But yeah, so I kind of lost them all. I had a few, and I kind of was like, you know what? As I got older, I was like, I really want to collect these more. And then I found the stash. I found I had more than I originally thought. So then I had a pretty good base for the collection. And then through the years, one here, one there, a buddy of mine might be like, oh, hey, I found this in my attic, and they hooked me up. And then I came across my 1990 Hasbro's figures, and I had a big collection. And I ultimately made the decision to sell all those and use the money to get the LJN collection. And all I'm missing is a few accessories and the Sergeant Slaughter, which technically isn't an LJN, but it falls under that umbrella. So I'm hoping to find a Sergeant Slaughter out in the wild. I refuse to just buy it online because that feels like cheating and paying the money. Plus, I think online he goes for $400 to $500, maybe $600, depending on condition. I'm not going to do that. I need to find it at a random yard sale or at some store, and maybe it's marked so cheap that I have to buy it. Anything under $300 I would probably do. Or maybe with a trade of some sort, but I'm willing to do that. But I want to find a Sergeant Slaughter out in the wild. All right. Also, so with 90s Con, I'm hoping to get my hand on magazines, any other kind of merchandise, maybe T-shirts. If you see me playing video games at the end of my videos, you can see my T-shirt collection in the background. Today, I figured I'd share some of my merch that I got at 80s Con that I'd like to share, and a few other things that I've had previously before that. So let's see. The first thing I want to share with you all is my Jakks Pacific 1996, still in the package, Undertaker. Right? This is a rare figure. If you look closely, it glows in the dark. Still made, to be honest with you. I'm never in the garage when it's completely dark, but this figure is extremely rare, and I feel fortunate that I have it still in the packaging. It still has the original price tag on it, $5.99 KB Toys, 1996. I have a pretty good collection of Jakks Pacifics still in the package as I'm looking across the garage where they're hanging. Sid Vicious, Savio Vega, who I believe it's Nation of Domination Savio. I have a Rocky Maivia, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and this is early incarnations of those characters. Let's see, I see Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Jerry Lawler, JBL before he was JBL, well, he's Justin Hawk Bradshaw. I have the Ultimate Warrior from 96. I have a later Sid Vicious, Ahmed Johnson, Vader, Bret Hart, Goldust, Diesel. All those are hanging right across from me. The Bret Hart figure I have is pretty rare as well. But I want to share the Undertaker because, again, it's extremely rare. Also, I decided to take out a couple of my favorite hats that I have. Let's see. This is an oldie but a goodie from, I believe, 1991. Old school big boss man trucker style hat. I've had this is an antique. Those that grew up watching WWF in the golden era have a little flashback right there. When the Boss Man became heel, they had him wearing this hat. He rocked it better than I did. I don't want to mess with it too much. But yeah, this hat here is a golden right here. All right? No price tag on this one. These things are not for sale. I also have this beauty. Definitely has wear and tear on it, but this is a promotional WrestleMania 5 hat from 1989 when the Mega Powers exploded. Right there, you can see it's got the whole Trump Plaza logo rocking on it. This WrestleMania was everything for someone who grew up in the golden era. And I have the original hat that they sold at the merch table back at WrestleMania 5 in Atlantic City. I look like a grandfather when I wear this. But anyway, these are my two favorite hats in the collection. I have a few others. I have one of those old school WWF gold and blue hat. It's in rough condition. I have a Hulk Hogan painter cap as well. But I want to share those with you. The last item I figure I'll share with us is my personal favorite item in my entire collection. It's probably not the one that's worth the most because I definitely have some older, I have a foam finger, a Hulk Hogan figure from like 1985 or 86. I have wrestling magazines dated back before WrestleMania. I have autographed Hacksaw Jim Duggan merchandise, autographed Undertaker merchandise. All that might be worth more than these, but these are my favorite. I have from 1995 autographed Bret the Hitman Hart sunglasses. Tell me this isn't the coolest thing. Listen, if my wife would let me, I would rock these things out in public. And they are fragile, though, and I don't want to break them. But I would wear these at a poker table, 100%. I still may, actually, if I'm ever in a tournament worth humiliating myself. But they are good poker sunglasses. These are the balls, right? Autographed by the Hitman himself, right? Can't certify that he ever wore them to a ring. Pretty sure they were just promotional, for sale sunglasses that he autographed. I have the certificate of authentication, so they're the real deal. And I love them. I have them hanging up with a bunch of pictures that I have as well. And that is a crown jewel in my collection. I also brought out to show one more thing, I suppose. We're going to do an episode coming up with Stanky where we're going to look at all these old school merch magazines from 1984 to 1987. I think I have them all the way to 89, right? And we're going to rank the t-shirts. Are they wearable or are they trash? Because 80s t-shirts is awesome and iconic as a lot of them are, and that what we remember. When we look through this magazine, we're going to see a lot that were absolute trash. Cheap looking. They look worse than the stuff that like you could make with a little something from Walmart these days. But that was the technology back then. But they were pushing t-shirts for wrestlers that had no business having a t-shirt marketed out. And I don't even know who bought these shirts. They're probably worth money if you get a hold of them. But we're going to rank them. Would you wear them? Would you not? And we're going to use them from not online pictures, but primary sources right here. Primary sources, my friend. These are actual merchandise catalogs that came in the old school magazines. But this was WWE shop online, shop.com before the internet, right? We had old school merchandise catalogs that we'd have to pick stuff out, beg our parents to cut a check, mail it, wait a couple months, and then boom, one day your stuff came. And I used to love that stuff. I had a Hulk Hogan light switch, right? It was actually looked like the Hulk Hogan, right, I'll grab this one, the Hulk Hogan thumb wrestler right here. And it was actually a light switch, and you'd actually turn up, turn down. And it was awesome. Turn on, turn off, I should say. that was something, for some reason, sticks out in my head, something I ordered and I got. A whole bunch of T-shirts, posters I wish I still had. But anyway, circle back around to the 90s convention. I hope to get my hands on some merch that I'm just as excited about as the stuff I have in front of me here. If you're out there and you have any stuff yourself, please comment, put something in the comments, or email me at 8bitgenerationx@gmail.com. You could also reach out on Instagram, on TikTok, 8bitgenerationx. There I am. Of course, we're going to end today with an old school video game. And since I'm hyped, I'm in an intense mood. I got some energy to put out. Why don't we go back and take on our old friend Von Kaiser in Punch-Out. The second fighter in the game, we already knocked out Joe Glass easy enough. But let's go see if we can't knock down the evil German. All right? Please like, share. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We're at 48 subscribers. And listen, I want to get to 100 before the wife pulls the plug. All right? Please subscribe, share. All right? Let's go knock out Von Kaiser. For America. All right, so here we go. Let's knock out Von Kaiser. All right, the old German. Let's take a look at him. All right, Von Kaiser, Berlin, Germany, 42. Back then, I used to think that was an old man. But a little 17-year-old from the Bronx, little Mac, will take care of him. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, everyone, this is going to sound like an excuse, but my controller left is a little wonky. So I'm having trouble dodging. So let's see what happens here. Last time I played it, sticking. Even when I did the Pac-Man video, something was up and then something to see. Let's see if I can beat Von Kaiser. It's all about his mustache. You gotta watch. See? He shakes his head a little. See, I was able to move it. Something's off. See? I'm still dodging. Gotta get that star. It's a nice 80s mustache Von Kaiser is rocking though. Gotta give him credit for that. The 80s stashes were everything. Tom Selleck. Oh, I'm done. Oh, no. Damn. Yeah, so he's not going as quick as I want. Yeah, knocked him down. Usually he doesn't get that many shots on me at all. But my dodge is a little off. So. I don't know if we're going to get a first round knockout with Von Kaiser. I might have to get him in a second. Oh, he just dodged one of my super fights. I never see that. Oh, see? First round knockdown. Never happened. But let's make it interesting for those that have never played this game and know how easy these guys are. Usually cruise right through them, but got a new challenge with the wonky remote. And they throw a little smack talk, and I'll teach you a lesson. You will fall down. Everything in the 80s was, the evil foreigner. That's not much has changed, but anyway, the evil German, the evil Russian. The Japanese was always, an evil character. Hopefully my stuff. Here we go. 43 seconds. I'm still a little off from the dodging, but we got 2 super punches too, so hopefully we can just knock him down. He'll get out. See, we'll get him down here in the second round. Oop, maybe not. Yeah, a little jab, knock him down. Is that TKO? No, down twice. 2 super. Maybe he'll stay down. 6. No, he's got some impressive fortitude. And bam. No. Bam, bam, bam. There you go. TKO. Shouldn't be struggling as much with Von Kaiser as I just did, but we won. Hopefully I can get the remote kind of straightened out. So yeah, Von Kaiser, the evil German. I won in a minute 54.61. They even got it down to the millisecond there. Round 2, I'll be ranked up to number 1. And are you ready for the next challenge? And it is a title match. The WVBA minor circuit title match. And we will be facing Piston Honda. Like I said before, the evil foreigner was everything in the 80s. We're not going to challenge him now. We'll save that title fight for a future video. I hope this brought back some memories for the old timers. For you people who may never really seen this game other than in pop culture pop-ups here and there. Hope you got a little taste of what we went through in the 80s and how our video games were much more simpler, but much more better than yours. All right, till next time.